Well, I just got done watching Pug's video with that FLB, the fat lying bitch. So I'll give my opinions. Pretty much most of what he says is kind of true. I disagree with a couple things very strongly and have proof and have evidence to show. Well, the first thing you'll notice about this video is about Mary. Once you get into the video for a while, you know the 4 videos Pug just made. Look how she is. It's just the way she was with me. She's so manipulative, deceiving, prodding. She had a mission on her mind. She was out here to bash a so-called pedo, which I'm not, and had nothing to do with Pug. She just wanted someone else to say something bad, and when he didn't want to say something bad, well, she squeezed and twisted him, like emotionally, tried to make him feel guilty. Oh, that it was his mission. He had to do it. He had to tell the world. He had to save the world. What? Oh my God, I just can't comprehend how this woman even has a job. How many places could she have been fired from before for using those kind of journalistic tactics? Convicted pedophile is a phrase coined by the haters. It has nothing to do with true life and real history, because I'm not. Mary Garofolo got to see the true evidence of my most recent psychiatric and phallometric evaluation. That means testing you for what you like and you don't like, what turns you on. And she's seen that pedophile was not even mentioned in that report whatsoever, but it did show voyeuristic tendencies. Well, a guy with a video camera, I guess, especially a guy like me, is somewhat voyeuristic, and I'm not going to deny that. And Mary got those documents from me well before her show, so she knew I wasn't who she claiming I was, but she went ahead anyways and used this as a pedo-bashing witch hunt, which had nothing to do with Pug or nothing to do with what she told me the interview was going to be about. She lied to everybody and both of us. When you become rich and famous, you get a lot of jealous haters. Look at Justin Bieber. He's a 16-year-old. He's probably a virgin. He's never touched anybody improperly. He hasn't done anything wrong as far as I know. But Justin Bieber has his own hater club. He has thousands and thousands of haters, a lot more than me. Why? How do you hate someone who's very good at what they do and talented and done nothing wrong? Well, I guess you hate them because you feel that they're better than you, and you're jealous. That's kind of the explanation for pretty much all of my haters. Pug never saw anything illegal happening at the farm. I'm sure if he did, he would have said something or told someone, you know, in power who could do something about it. He just saw things that weren't comfortable with him. I'm a nudist. Redneck Rickham's a nudist. Some of my friends are nudists. And normal activities happened at the farm that were non-sexual. And we would keep the gate locked just during the week all the time, just so that other people just wouldn't happen upon us. But we weren't doing anything bad. The worst thing I ever did, probably being a nudist, was ride around with a 17-year-old with her on the back of a quad. But that's not illegal. Age of consent is 16, and we still weren't doing anything sexual, and everybody else was around, including Pug. When I went into the hot tub with that so-called 10-year-old boy Pug mentioned, that wasn't true. The boy was 13. I slipped in there without bathing suit on, as I normally do. The room was dark. The boy's father was already in the tub. He wasn't wearing any clothes either, and I assumed the boy wasn't, but there were so many bubbles in the tub, nobody could tell. There's a little change curtain just before you get into the tub that hangs around it, and I slipped my clothes off behind that. Bloke was there, you can ask him too, and I think Rickham and a bunch of other people were there. We weren't doing anything wrong. Mary Garofolo has something against people who like me or who love me. Look at my son's YouTube account. I did this for him because he had no job and hasn't been employed for a while. He's living on his own and paying rent and trying to survive as, you know, just a young man age 22. So, didn't cost me anything to tell him how to set up a YouTube partner account, and I would make the videos for him since he's not really into that kind of thing, and he got to keep all of the money. But I think because my son loved me, and I raised my 22-year-old son since he was 13, Mary didn't like that. Carries the same last name as me. His name is Adam Rock. So Mary had to set out to destroy him too. It took her a week longer to destroy him on YouTube and have his ads pulled forever, and he can no longer be an AdSense partner. But it took a week longer because YouTube realized that's not David Rock's account. That's Adam Rock's account, completely registered by him in every way, shape, and form, and the checks to go to a different address. I've never even seen one of the checks. I've never even asked how big they are. But I do know he needed that money to survive. And Mary broke our constitutional right by taking away a real, legitimate, tax-paying job that's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and taking it away from someone for no reason except to hurt them and cause pain just because my son loves me and I raised him. Why does she protect the people who don't like me? Can you tell me that, Mary? Explain that in court when I sue you, because that is coming for sure. I'm just still collecting evidence, and since this is a television type thing, I have 6 is television slander and defamation and loss of jobs and all that. I've got 6 weeks. It's not 2 weeks or 2 years like the normal way you can sue persons for personal injuries and stuff. I have 6 weeks, and all the papers will be filed in statement of claim well before 6 weeks. I'm so glad a big company like Global TV got involved with this, because they've got a team of lawyers and lots of insurance. I've got lots of support and lots of money, and now I'm going to get a lifetime income, because you took away my lifetime income and my son's lifetime income and gave us no possibility of ever gaining that type of income again. So now I've been blacklisted from AdSense. I had a perfect relationship with them for 3 years. Never did anything wrong. Put their ads on my videos on the #1 automotive channel in the world. What more can you ask for if you're an advertiser? Certainly was no complaints to Mary. Got on the bandwagon and started messaging them all. I'm so glad she put that in her movie. Oh my God, I couldn't believe she admitted to it. Now she'll have to admit to it to a judge. I guess the one big issue I have with Pug's videos, which I just watched, is that I did give him all the money for the cars, minus the money it cost to remove his motorhome scrap weight. Well, the frame didn't turn out to be worth that much, but nobody would give him any money for the motorhome at a scrapyard. No scrapyard would take the motorhome for free. They knew there was several tons of wooden and mixed body material on it, and that would have to be paid to be taken to a dump and scrapped. The little bit of metal the frame and engine had was so little value that it wasn't worth as much as the scrap metal would cost to get rid of, so nobody would take it. So it was left on my property. I was forced by the bylaw office to get rid of it because they called it domestic waste or a derelict vehicle, whatever. So I took every one of Pug's vehicles to the scrapyard because he was incapacitated. His friends wouldn't help him. I didn't think I could help him at first, but because I was desperate to get all the cars out by the deadline, I had to borrow my friend's truck and trailer. So in the rain and the snow, yeah, it was pretty crappy weather back then, I loaded them all by myself, took the wheels off, took the gas tanks off so he would get maximum value for them at the scrapyard, chained them down to the flatbed trailer, and towed them out to the scrapyard and got the money for each one, kept the receipts and checks for each one, photocopied everything, and I charged them $10 gas for each trip because that's all it cost me, $10 gas. I never charged them a penny for myself. So it turned out after me and Rick got his body of that motorhome all loaded into the garbage bin that we had to rent, or I had to rent, it turned out that it cost $420 to have the thing brought there, picked up and dumped, and the dumping charges. Well, that's not too bad. That was several tons of material, and I didn't charge him for any labor of loading the trailer and scrapping his motorhome either. I just charged him the $420, which I gave him the receipt for. So Pug failed to mention that I did go to his house after he recovered and was walking around about 2 or 3 months later when all the cars were scrapped. I did bring checks for all the money that I got from the vehicles, and I did bring receipts. He actually videotaped my visit there, so we did try to get along. I had nothing wrong with going visiting Pug afterwards and handing him his money. And there still was even a little bit of his scrap metal left at the farm. And I loaded up that in my van and completely filled my van and brought all that out too and gave it to him, no charge. Pug is just upset that I charged him exactly what I paid to get rid of the scrap from his motorhome. That's it. I didn't make a penny. I worked many, many, many hours removing those parts off those vehicles so he would get maximum scrap price because no one else would help him for free. All I got back was my gas money, $10 per vehicle. It just turned out that he had in his mind I should have paid for scrapping his motorhome because he said I made money off of his videos. Sure I did. Well, they were my videos. I just filmed his activities at my farm, but I never made a nickel off him jumping his motorhome because I'm the only one who never put one of his motorhome jumping videos on YouTube. Everybody else did but me. So I challenge you, Chris Whitcroft. I have nothing against you. I see that you tried to defend me in most times within that video that you made with Mary. No hard feelings about that. Just tell the truth. Show the world the receipts. Show the world how much Zubik's charged me to have that bin hauled away and dumped. Show them the checks I gave you, or at least the cancel checks, or I'll show them if you don't want to do that. Stand up for what you're talking about and tell them the truth. You were just upset that it cost $420 to get rid of that motorhome, but you got every penny for all those vehicles, including the scrap metal that I saved for you that was yours. And all I charge you was $10 gas for each vehicle to haul them, because that's what it cost me, and I work for you for free. So come on, Pug. Tell the world the truth. Show them the photocopies, show them the canceled check, or I'll have to do it for you. No hard feelings. Let's get together someday. Oh, and good news for everybody else. I do have a lot of classic Dave's Farm videos that I made in the last 2 weeks to edit. It's just with all this other bullshit going on, I haven't had time to edit them. I've just been gathering evidence for my court case against Mary, so I'm going to try to get to them after this video, but I still have a bunch more videos coming up which are shocking and true.